Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel Without a Wire, where we explore everything home automation. In today's video we will review some of the Wyze light bulbs, smart light bulbs. Now Wyze is a US based company in Seattle. They were established in 2017 by a bunch of ex-Amazon employees. Also, before we get started, please give this video a like and hit subscribe and ding that bell icon so you can get notifications of future content. Let's take a look and see what these light bulbs are all about. Hi everyone, and welcome back. So let's get started and see what these Wyze light bulbs are all about. So as usual, we'll start with the packaging and what's on the box. So on the front of the box you have some pictures of the light bulbs. You have the integration into Alexa, Google and IFTTT, and it also tells you how bright these light bulbs are. In this case 800 lumens, and it also tells you that the estimated energy costs for these light bulbs are $1.14 per year. How accurate that is, I don't know. We are in South Africa and it may differ. Turning the package to the side, it gives you information about the lumens, 800 lumens, which equates to 60 watts. And it says easy setup, no help required, and remote access with the Wyze app. Turning the box to the back, it gives some specs about the light bulb, life expectancy 20,000 hours, and it also tells you that it's Wi-Fi 2.4 gigahertz. Some information about the company, the base, it's a type E26, or in our case a E27. They both fit the same fitting, and the color temperature they indicate from 2700 kelvins to 6500 kelvins, which means that this light bulb supports both warm white and cool white. Then there's some interesting facts about this light bulb, nothing too serious, and that's about it. So it does give you quite a bit of information on the outside of the box. This box is also a 4-bulb box. In my experience, if you only buy one of these light bulbs, you will not get the packaging with the light bulb. But I did a bulk order and got 4 of these light bulbs, which means that I got one of these boxes that actually houses 4 light bulbs, as you can see inside there. So let's have a look inside the box. Here's the Wyze bulb quick start guide. It says it's a quick start guide, but if you read through the guide, it's mostly specifications and safety warnings and all that kind of stuff. The quick start guide is actually only 1 page and only 3 steps. It says download the Wyze app, install the light bulb, and open the app and follow instructions. So not really descriptive at all, and they seem to rely mostly on the app to guide the users, but we'll have a look at that a bit later. Let's have a look at the light bulb. So the light bulb, taking it out of the box, you can feel it's significantly heavier than your average light bulb, or at least the ones that we've reviewed on the channel so far. So on the front it says Wyze, and at the back there's some indication. There's a QR code there. I scanned the QR code and it turns up empty, so the QR code doesn't point you anywhere. Then it goes into the model. This is a WLPA19 with some power specifications. It says 800 lumens, and then it also tells you it's 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin, which again on the light bulb it tells you it's both a cool and a warm white. Nowhere actually does it tell you that it's Wi-Fi compatible or that it is a smart bulb, except if you feel the weight you can feel this is not a normal smart bulb. So on the bulb itself, if you get this one without the packaging, unless you know the make or the company, you would not know that this is a smart bulb. That is outside the box and inside the box. Let's put this light bulb into a lamp, set it up, see how it sets up, how it integrates into other platforms, and also see what the app has to offer and what features there are available on this light bulb. So I got my lamp ready. Let's install this, set it up in the app, and see what the app and the light bulb has to offer. Then before we get started, if your light bulb doesn't flicker because it needs to blink on and off, or at least fade between warm white and cool white for the setup process, and if the light bulb doesn't do that when you switch it on, you can always reset it by just switching it on and off 3 times. So let's see if this one is ready to be set up, or if I need to reset it first. Okay, so it seems like I need to reset this one first. There you go. So going into the Wyze app, I go into add a new device, power and lighting. Then I choose the Wyze bulb, the one with the white right at the top of the list. Go in there, and it gives you 2 options. There's a Wyze bulb white and a normal Wyze bulb 2019 version. Now this one is the 2019 version because it doesn't have white printed on the light bulb. Let's choose that, and then it says turn your light on and off 3 times to pair the bulb. So this one is ready to pair. Now it asks me to join Wi-Fi network, and from there it actually takes you out the app and you need to connect to the light bulb directly on Wi-Fi. If you go into your phone settings, the light bulb will show up in your Wi-Fi. Just connect to the light bulb, and once it's connected, you need to go back into your Wyze app to complete the setup. Once you're back in the Wyze app, it would connect to the light bulb and it would stop blinking at some stage. Once the light bulb is connected, you can give it a name. Then the app will ask you whether you want to share access to this light bulb or not. Then I would just choose maybe later. And then it brings you to a screen where you can select the cool and warm white of the globe. Once the light bulb is set up, you can go into the bulb and you can hit the settings button. From there you can see the device name, the icon, some of the other menu items. Let's see, there's scenes. Scenes are pretty straightforward because it's only warm white and cool white. There's nothing complicated around the scenes. There's a timer where you can set the on and off time for the light bulb. Here's a vacation mode. The vacation mode works nicely with the Wyze security package. And then there's also a sun match where you can set the light to switch on with sunset and switch off with sunrise, or the other way around. Then there are some rules. Once you click on the rules, it gives you a rundown in the app as to what these rules are. These are basically routines that you can write within the Wyze ecosystem, making a Wyze motion sensor talk to a light bulb or a camera or something like that. And you can actually set up routines within the Wyze ecosystem. Then there's sharing. You can actually share this with anyone in your family, as long as they download the Wyze app and you send them an invite with the email address that they registered on their app. They will have access to these devices that you share with them. Device info, it will give you some info around the device, MAC address, IP address, and the network signal strength. Then there's also support. The nice thing about support is there's a help center piece, there's a troubleshooting piece, and there's submit a log, which means that you can either self-help or you can interact with the support team from Wyze to help you figure out what is wrong with your devices. Then there's also a check firmware update for the device itself, or you can go into your profile, which we'll get to in a moment, and you can do a bulk firmware upgrade. Scrolling back up, there are some sleep routines where you can say wake up or bedtime and make the light do different things. But the feature that I actually want to focus on is the power loss recovery. You can actually choose there when my power is restored after a blackout. When power is restored, you can choose to say that the light must go on or it must maintain the previous state. What it will then do is it will go back to the cloud and see what was the state before the power loss, and it will return to that state. So if the light was on, it will return to an on state, or if it was off, it will return to an off state. Let's go through the main menus in the app. We've just explored the home section. If you go into events, in events, it's mostly when you have Wyze cameras. It does a little recording or a snippet whenever you have motion or sound or whatever notifications you set up for your cameras. You go to the next item, monitoring. Monitoring, the same. If you have cameras or if you have some of Wyze's home security lineup in your house, you can actually set up some monitoring for you. And there's also an online monitoring where Wyze provides that service to you should you have those products in place and subscribe to these services. Next item is shop. There's just a lineup of all the products that Wyze offers and what specials are out there, or new products even that they launch. Then if you go into account, you can see your account details, your username, email, all that kind of stuff. You can go home. There's some services. Services are mainly the subscriptions for the cameras. Different tiers that offers different levels of service if you have the Wyze cams. Security, you can change your password or you can set up two-factor authentication. Notifications, you can actually set up your in-app notifications, push notifications or text notifications based on the devices that you have. And which brings us to the smart integrations. We'll explore this in a bit more depth later, but in smart integrations, they only offer an Alexa integration. This light bulb is compatible with Google and with Home Assistant as well, but not from within the Wyze app. Then if you go down, there's the rules where you can set up your routines, which we briefly touched on previously. And you have your Wyze community, Wyze support, app settings, and about the app. So this is quite a nice app with nice features, nice integrations, and nice rules that you can actually, or routines that you can actually set up within the Wyze ecosystem. Now that we've had a look at the app and the features offered by the light bulb and the app, let's have a look at the integrations. From an integration perspective, the Wyze light bulb will integrate into Alexa, Google, Home Assistant, and IFTTT. Unfortunately, there is no support for Apple HomeKit and SmartThings. Let's have a look at the integrations in the app. So if you click on the Alexa integration, if you already have it set up, it will just say congratulations, you already set up. If not, it will ask you to link. It will take you to the Alexa app and authorize it from there. Within the Alexa app, you would still need to download the Wyze skill for this to work from the Alexa app. I've set up this previously, and again, it's lightning fast. It was done within 20 seconds. Let's have a look at the Google integration. If you go into Google, tap on settings, scroll down to the bottom, works with Google, and from there you can just run a search for Wyze and enter your credentials. Obviously with the Google app, it would ask you to authenticate and do two-factor authentication or whatever, even though you are already in the Google app. Once you get past that and you linked your services, you will be able to control your device from the Google app as well. From a home assistant perspective, again, you would need to download the Wyze integration from Axe, the Home Assistant Community Store. Once you've downloaded that integration from Axe and you've restarted Home Assistant, you can go into Settings, Integrations, and run a search for Wyze. From there, it will set up, ask you for your credentials for your Wyze app, and you are ready to go. Having said that, downloading an integration from the Home Assistant Community Store means that it's not stable and it is not supported by Wyze themselves. There is a warning in the download that says that it is not supported by Wyze and may stop working from time to time. So again, this is not the preferred integration, but it does work. So from a IFTTT perspective, very easy. Once you're logged into the IFTTT site, you just search for Wyze, click on the Wyze icon, ask to connect, put in your credentials, and once it's authenticated there, you can then set up your own little applets. They also have predefined applets that you can choose from the menu once you are set up. Fairly easy to do and fairly quick as well. Now that we've had a look at the light bulb, the setup, the app, and the integrations, let's look at the price point. This light bulb starts from 295 Rand, which puts it at more or less the mid-range of the smart bulb series, or at least the ones that's available in South Africa. Which brings us to the things I like about these light bulbs. The first thing that I like about these light bulbs is that they support a previous state, which means that the light bulb will maintain its previous state after a power outage. So when I'm not at home, or if it's in the middle of the night and there's a power outage, this light bulb will stay in an off state if it was off before the power failure. The second thing I like about these light bulbs, or at least the app, is that the app does offer some routines and you can set up some automations inside the app. A caveat is that the automations will only work with Wyze products, so you can only set it up if you have a Wyze ecosystem. The third thing I like about the Wyze bulb as well as the app is the fact that you can do a bulk firmware upgrade. You don't need to go into the device itself and check for firmware. You can go into your profile, click on firmware, and it will throw out a list of devices with the firmware state. And then you will have the choice of updating one device at a time, or you can run a bulk update and it will update all the devices that is due for a firmware upgrade. The last thing that I really like about the Wyze ecosystem is the fact that they offer support, self-help troubleshooting, as well as interaction with their support team via the app. So you are never stranded and you can connect with someone directly through a chat. You can submit logs and they will help you sort out your problem. Let's have a look at the things that I don't like about the Wyze bulb and the app. The first thing I don't like about the Wyze bulb and the app is the fact that you need to leave the Wyze app during setup and manually go back into the app to complete the setup. The second thing I don't like about the Wyze ecosystem is the integration into Home Assistant. Because you need to integrate it through Home Assistant Community Store means it's not stable. I have found some instability, not with the light bulbs, but more with my motion sensors and contact sensors that I've had in the past. Well, the third thing that I don't like about the Wyze bulb or the Wyze ecosystem is the fact that there's no support for Apple HomeKit or SmartThings. I have SmartThings running in my house, which means that I can't integrate any of my Wyze devices into my SmartThings ecosystem. Now that we reviewed the Wyze Smart Bulb, let's see how it stacks up against its competitors. From an unboxing perspective, on the outside of the box, I gave it a 7. It's quite informative and it gives you all the basics that you would need to know about these light bulbs. The only downside is that you would only get packaging if you order 4 or more light bulbs. The inside of the box gets a 5 because the Easy 8 guide is not as described and only gives you 3 steps for setup. there's no details and it's not well written. The light bulb also doesn't give you any indication whether it's a smart bulb unless you know the company and know that it is a smart bulb. From a features perspective, the Wyze bulb scores an 8 because it has in-app support and also supports routines within the app. It also boasts a previously on state feature. From a brightness perspective, it scores an 8 at 800 lumens, which is quite bright on both the warm and the cold white. From an integration perspective, the Alexa integration scores a 10 because it's lightning fast and easy to set up. Google scores a 7 because it takes a while to set up and it always authenticates the user with two-factor authentication even though you are in the app already. Home Assistant scores a 5 because of the Axe integration and the warning that it's not very stable. SmartThings scores a 0 because there's no integration. IFTTT scores an 8 because it's fairly easy and very quick to set up with predefined applets that you can use upon setup. Apple HomeKit scores a 0 because there's no support for that, which puts the Wyze bulb at 58 points out of 100. Thanks everybody for watching, and if you liked the video, please give it a like. Also hit subscribe and ding that bell icon so you can get notifications of future content. If you would want to contribute to this channel, you can sign up to the Patreon campaign, links in the description, or you can do a once-off donation to PayPal. Also follow me on Instagram. I've provided the QR code on the screen and the link is also available in the video description. If you would want to get started with your home automation or want to set up automations but don't know how, you may contact me on the email address at the bottom of the screen, also in the video description. Or if you want to show off your own home automations or innovative ideas, you're also welcome to contact me and we'll showcase that on the channel. I've also provided links in the video description as to where you can find these light bulbs, so you are welcome to go and have a look there. Thanks everybody for watching and see you in the next video.